Good morning, it's Christine Crutcher from Create with Christine. Thanks so much for tuning in. I am tuning in a little bit earlier today because I do have a family commitment. So I'm going to keep this pretty short this week. We are going to talk box math, and it's actually an hour earlier than I normally do this, so it's 9 a.m. Eastern, so bear with me. We are going to make this super cute box, and I'll talk a little bit about just box math, and I just kept it really super simple today. You know me if you follow me, sweet and simple style. So I'm doing Snowman season stamp set. So this is in the annual catalog, and I actually picked this because we were supposed to get a few inches of snow, but we actually got more like a dusting because I think it was warmer and it switched over to sleet last night. So we just have a little tiny bit of snow on the grass this morning. So, box math. A couple things. I'm actually doing a box to hold a candy bar. So I'm going to talk about the measurements. I actually happened to be out shopping last weekend and found this Cape Cod craft chocolate company selling candy bars in these cute wrappers. So we bought some of these because we both have family ties to Cape Cod. So, a couple things when we are making boxes is we want to have a scoreboard. It really makes it helpful. So, I did my scoreboard, and I did all the scoring earlier, but I did want to mention that, and I'll have the link to the products below. Hey, good morning, Elaine. Yes, I am here earlier because I need to hit the road in like an hour to drive to our first family Christmas, assuming our rapid tests are negative. So let me kind of jump right in. I'll try to share a graphic later this week overall about box math, but I'm going to put the camera down at my station and talk about the measurements to get started. But this is going to go probably pretty quick, so bear with me while I move the camera. I'm wearing my cute snowman sweater, so another reason to use the Snowman season stamp set is that I coordinate with the stamp set today. So, okay, this doesn't look too bad, but okay, so again, here's my box. And let's talk about my candy bar for a second because I wanted a box that fits the candy bar. So the first thing I did was measure this candy bar with my ruler, and it's approximately 4 by 7. Okay, so then what I did is I want the bottom of my box to be cardstock, so I actually picked Mossy Meadow, and then I want the top to be designer series paper. So let me get this stuff out of the way, and let me show you what I ended up with my Mossy Meadow. See, my 4 by 7 is going to fit in the inside, but I wanted to score my bottom. I want to score at 1 inch all the way around. So this is the part where we have to do math. 4 and then 1 inch on either side would make it 6. So hopefully you're with me there. And then for the 7-inch side, 1 inch all the way around, 1 inch on either side would be 9. So I want my Mossy Meadow cardstock to be 6 by 9. Okay, so because I'm scoring this at 1 inch all the way around, I hope that makes sense, and I'll have a graph for you. And then for my designer series paper, I actually want to score this at a 1/2 inch. So see, my Mossy Meadow is going to be 1 inch, but I just want some decorative on my designer series paper. So my designer series paper is going to score at 1/2 inch. So going with my original measurement of 4 by 7, I want a 1/2 inch on either side. So 4 plus 1/2 plus 1/2 would be 5. And then 7 plus 1/2 plus 1/2 would be 8. But with the designer series paper for the lid, you actually want to do it a smidge larger. So I'm going to call my designer series paper piece 5 1/16 by 8 1/16. And then we're going to score this at 1/2 inch all the way around. Okay, so let's just do that to get the scoring out of the way. I did not score earlier, so let's do the scoring together. Well, I did the scoring, I'm sorry. Let's do the folding And I'm just gonna go quick. If you have the bone folder, that would be helpful to make sure you have good creases. I'm not even gonna worry about that today. Like I said, I want this to go pretty quick. So I'm just cutting next to the 2 tabs on the long ends. And I'll just do that while I'm here on the designer paper too. And this is really busy, this pattern, so you might kind of have to just kind of feel for the score marks a little bit. I did one with the checks, so I'm going to do one with the other side. So, okay, and then I'm ready to put my adhesive. So my adhesive is actually going to go on my tabs. So let's do these first. And here's a tip. Sometimes you might want to just trim your tabs at a little triangle. Don't trim this part of the box. Make sure you're trimming your tabs. So I'm just going to do that really quick. And then the tabs, I'm going to do one side. The tabs are going to go underneath, so I'm actually just going to flip over and do one side at a time. So I hope you're having a great week. It's crunch time, right? We're trying to get all of our presents bought. I think we're done buying gifts. We went out yesterday, right when the snow started, for a little bit to pick up our last gifts. I made, well, actually shouldn't say we're done shopping. I'm still going to probably make a few more things. I made a calendar yesterday, and it actually came out really awesome. I actually cased the project, so it wasn't my original design, or I probably would share it, but it was, I think I'm going to make a couple more for a few people. So I'm just getting my box together here. Okay, so now I have my bottom together, and my candy bar will fit in. And this, you could probably make this smaller, but you also want to look at like the height or width of your item. I did do an inch because I figured I might actually put something else in here, or I could actually fit 2, or I might just wrap it up in some pretty tissue paper. Of course, after, and I'm not even going to bother trimming my tabs on the designer paper. And I like liquid glue for this because you kind of just have a minute to kind of wiggle it to the right spot, hold it. Just remember, a little bit goes a long way. So adhesive on your tabs. But pretty much the moral of the story is you can make boxes with any size. I actually made a box for my calendar, and I'll show it to you at the end. I mean, it's all wrapped up, but because I'm giving it as a gift today. But okay, so there's my lid made out of the designer paper. And my lid, since I did a smidge bigger, will fit on perfectly. And I actually did make one that was like an 1/8, and an 1/8 will work too. I think the box that I made for the calendar was an 1/8. So that will definitely work. So my box is done. Let's do my stamping. And I'm just going to do the snowman and color him with some blends. So super simple. Because I'm using blends, I'm going to use my Memento. And he's a little bit larger, so I'm just gonna give him a nice and this fits on almost perfectly. This is the second largest layering circle dies. Whoops, I kind of maybe went off a little bit on the edge, but it's fine. So I did for the basic white, and then there's going to be a red scallop from the layering circles. I just did a 3.5 inch square. And then let's just color him really quick. I just did a super simple using the same colors from the designer series paper. It's Real Red and Mossy Meadow. And of course you got to do the nose orange for carrot. So I just did a little tiny bit of pumpkin on the nose. And I'm using the light blends. But obviously, they come in a 2-pack when you purchase them, so you get a light and a dark. But I'm using all 3 light. And let's just do the green. There's really no wrong or right way to do it, but I just did the larger pieces, I did green, and the tinier pieces of the scarf and the hat, I did red. Kind of like the little traditional red and green. Okay, and then the hat. You could do any colors here to match your designer paper if you have different designer paper than I have. And then for the red, I'm going to use the skinnier end. And if you really want to get fancy, you could add, and I went out of the lines a little bit, but that's okay. I'm just going to leave it. I'm just doing a quick color. If you have the color lifter, I definitely would recommend getting a color lifter. So if you go out of the lines a little bit, you can use the color lifter to fix it. And if you have like a light blue, you could do some shading around the snowman. I'm not even going to do that today. Okay, let's adhere these 2 pieces. I'm just going to use a tiny bit of Stampin' Seal. This is Seal Plus. Try to use it vertical. I know that kind of sounds funny, but versus laying it down, holding it straight up and down seems to keep the adhesive right at the tip and ready for you. So that's just a tip with using the Seal Plus. I really like it for my white and my vanilla, so you can't see any adhesive. Okay, and then I'm ready to do my ribbon and my twine and get this all adhered, packaged up. So I have let's see, I have a lot of ribbon. It's 48 inches of ribbon. And like, you know, the thing about Stampin' Up! Ribbon is you get a ton of it. Most of our ribbons are 10 to 15 yards on a roll, so use it up. This is the Real Red sheer ribbon, so I'm just going to go across the front, around to the back. I'm going to try to keep it as flat as possible, but I got to do a twist back here to get it to go up. So, and then around to the front and in a bow at the front. So I probably have too much here, but that's okay. And then I'm just going to tie a knot here, actually, before I I'm just going to tie a knot before I tie my bow, actually, to keep everything together. Oh, this is the way I do it. You might have an easier way, but see, now it keeps it kind of looking pretty, and then I can do my bow, so you could do your bunny ears and tie them together. But I want a nice big bow, so that's why I did 48 inches. So, you know, I have a little bit of extra, but you want something to hold on to, and then I can kind of just fluff it up, make it look pretty. Cut my tails. So super cute. If you follow me, I love to use designer series paper, and I get a lot of it. I get all of it. And I am doing a paper share for the new catalog that is coming out in January. So I will be releasing that probably right after Christmas, the details. So keep an eye out for that if you're on my mailing list. And if you want more information, let me know. I'll put the link below to join my mailing list. This is one of our retired Stampin' Up! Punches, so whatever hole punch you have handy works. And then I just have a piece of the white Baker's Twine. This is from the Baker's Twine Essentials pack, and I am just going to thread this through. And I sometimes like to make a knot lower down here so it kind of hangs. So I'm just going to do that on this one as well, like I did on the original. And I can just feed this one under the knot in my bow. I'm just going to take a quick sip of tea. I'm still on my first one actually this morning because I'm kind of running around getting ready to leave. So, and then we can just thread the ends through. This was a 10-inch piece of twine. I'm not sure if I said the size, so the measurement. So there we go. I can trim this, and there is my box. So I did one with the plaid or gingham, and then one with the kind of like the diamond pattern. So let me know if you have a preference. And then this was one I did, so just a different size altogether. But the sky is the limit. You can use your designer paper and your cardstock to make boxes in all sorts of different sizes for your gifts. So it's great because, I mean, if you're a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, or if you're watching and you're a customer and you have lots of cardstock and lots of designer paper, use it up. So that's it for me for today. So I just want to bring my camera back up at my face and sign off. And hey, Jen, good morning. Thanks for tuning in. So, hey, good morning, Janine. I am signing off, and I do plan to be here next Sunday, which will be the day after Christmas. Fingers crossed. I might be a little tired from all of our travels and gallivanting across the state to see all of our family. But I want to wish you a happy and Merry Christmas. Happy Christmas, Merry Christmas, and be safe. And I will see you next week. Thanks so much for tuning in.